Hello guys, today I want to check the latest models for data analysis. The key aspects that we want to cover, it's a data normalization step. Basically, in any type of data analysis, usually we want to take our raw measurements and then normalize, perform some normalization. The next step that can be used, it's dimension reduction. So in this case, we take our multi-dimensional data. Today we will see as an example the case where we have around 10,000 of features, and usually in this case we want to keep the variance of our data, preserve it, but at the same time to perform some transformation where we can put our data, like project it or transform it into two-dimensional space or a little bit more. But the idea that in this case we can visualize it and see what are the patterns inside of our data. And after that we will perform clustering. So we will take our data and we will perform clustering. This step could be done directly on the high dimensional data or for example on simplified one. It depends on the cases where you usually need to use the full potential, or in some cases even a smaller representation could be enough. And after that, so we will try to annotate. This is basically an unsupervised method. In this case, we are just trying to find some patterns and group them into different clusters. And today we will also try to annotate this cluster. So in your case, it might be, for example, some images, and you want just like to perform some unsupervised clustering and then try to annotate the cloud. And it might be, for example, just cats, dogs, or something like that. In our case, it will be cells. And we will try to annotate them and provide the cell type annotation. So let's now switch to the results that I got. And before the results, I want just to show you what kind of prompt I used, and I will describe why I did it in this way. I used Codex CLI and also Claude Code, and for both of them I used very simple prompt. So you can see the prompt here, and it's saying that your task is to perform the single cell data analysis, save the code that is used for the analysis in the current working directory. In the end, give me some summary HTML that shows results of the analysis, and the data is located here. So I just like provided the path to the data that I want to analyze, and basically I used exactly the same prompt for GPT 5.6 Sol and also for Sonnet 5. And now let's check what kind of results we got, and I'll start from GPT 5.6 Sol. And this is the result that we got, and basically, as I said, so we want to proceed and perform some steps such as normalization, clustering, and this is the output of the codex. And for us, what is interesting, so for example, we can take a look that it provides us some quality control metrics such as UMIs, row cell QC. We don't need to dive deep into these representations. Basically, it's just like the way to assess the quality of the data in bioinformatics fields. In your case, it could be something different, but this is just the way how Codex shaped the output. And then we have the PCA plot. This one shows us, for example, what percent of the data explained just by first components. It's the dimension reduction technique, very well known in the field of data science. And then what is interesting for me, it's these representations. Basically here we have the clustering. As you can see, this is a UMAP representation of the data, and UMAP, it's like a extra or like more powerful tool rather than PCA. And in this case, we are just trying to project the whole data that we have, in our case like a lot of cells, into two-dimensional plot. And this is a representation that we got after I used Codex CLI. And as you can see, so these are clusters. And then also what is interesting, that we can take a look on sample IDs. And in this particular case, I used as a data source 4 different samples, and basically they were like measured separately. And because of that, we can notice here like a very interesting pattern. So we see that there are some parts of the plot which are like very black and white in terms of the sample ID. And if be honest, it's not like something that we want to see usually after we perform single cell data analysis. And this is for me as a weak part of the result that I got after I ran Codex CLI. Now I want just like to briefly explain you why this is something that we usually don't want to see in the result. Let's say that we are trying to measure the weight of group of people. So here we have a group of people and we put them just like on 2 scales. And in this particular case, there could be some differences in the way how scales works, but the original data is the same. So basically we had the same group of people. And this is what is usually happening in the single cell data analysis. There might be some batch effects, just basically between the time when the experiment was done or something like that. And we want to get rid of this particular effect and just preserve the biological differences of our data. Yeah, and because of that, I think that the single cell analysis performed by Codex in this particular case is weak. So definitely I could improve it. For example, if I know in advance the best strategies in terms of the single cell data analysis, I can definitely provide some extra information for Codex CLI and it will resolve it. But in this case, I try to pretend that I don't know anything about single cell data analysis. I just know that there is something like that. And in this case, so this is a definitely weak part for me that was not addressed properly by GPT 5.6 Sol. Now let's try to switch to the Claude Code result, and if to be honest, I was like very impressed. As you can see right away, it provided me the artifact. This is a basically HTML page that I can share with anyone in case if I want. I can just like open access it, and here we have the result. And if to be honest, I can right away say that it's like more nicer looking one. So as you can see, it's like added some style to the HTML page, and I prefer that more. But in this case, so we can see that there is a overview about what kind of steps was performed. This is information about samples, and it's like very nicely defined and aggregated into different sections. I really like how it looks like. So then we have some information about how many cells we had in the beginning. Then after like we filtered out some low quality points or like part of our data, we got around like more than 90% retained cells or like points. Then also we have the same type of while-in plots as we had before for number of genes by counts. This is just as some first step to assess the quality of your data. And then let's just switch to the integration and clustering. And this one is like really impressed me, because in this case I didn't provide any extra information about what kind of steps should be applied to the data. But in this case you can see that if we look on the sample plot, now it's definitely well mixtured. So there are some parts which might be more driven by particular sample, but overall the picture is like much better. So as you can see here, it's like you see more of these areas where there is just one color. In this case, it's more like mixed, and this is what we usually want to get after we perform single cell data analysis. And this is just like clusters that we got after we perform clustering. And it's like very nice in my mind. Also, we have some summary information about total counts. Usually we want to see that there are no particular clusters which are driven just by total counts or number of genes counts. Also could be useful to take a look on the data. And now let's switch to the sample composition per cluster. And now you can see that it's not the same as it was before. For example, here we had mostly like there were like a lot of parts which are like driven by particular cluster. In this case, it's like more even in my mind. So for example, in this case, you can see that cluster 0, yeah, there is like less of sample 2, but at the same time, it's like mostly equal proportions of sample 4, 3 and 1. And you can see that it's like really nicely mixed in my mind. And I definitely prefer this part more. And then, so this is how the marker genes and cluster identity was defined. And here we can see that there are like some lineage. Basically, in your case, it might be pictures with scats, and there could be some reasoning about why you assigned the particular annotation to the cluster. And in this case, I will not go over details, but I really like how it's organized. Here also we can see the composition of different cell types in our data, very nice. And later, so what I really like also here, that this model provides us a heat map and dot plot. So, and we can really indeed double check that the cell type annotation that was assigned to the cluster is indeed what we expect from our biological knowledge. And then also we have this like nice heat map. Today I just wanted to briefly cover a particular case of models, and in this case again I am saying that I didn't use extra information, so definitely I can, for example, steer the Codex CLI to get a nice result as well. But for me it was just like as a one-shot prompt. I tried to see what is the difference, and for example, for the person who never done single cell analysis, I would stick probably as a first step with Sonnet 5, because in my mind it's like more reasonable, more like accurate. Anyway, you need to know details about the analysis. Yeah, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.